At this stage in the build, we've put together all our circuit boards temporarily. There's no wiring in there apart from this wire here. We've got the PCB with a 20 channel high side switch. We've got our MCU tucked in under there, the MCU board itself, a fuse box there, LED fuses. I'm not using the bus bars on this particular version, and our Jetson and the camera d-serializer board. So what I'm trying to do here is to work out where I can put all my glands there, and these XLR fittings and the switch and a voltmeter and momentary switches. I've got all these nice little panels here to play with. These are quite handy. You just cut out and then you've got all your gland holes ready to go. There's two sizes of glands, by the way. We've got the 12mm, which is most common, and 16mm for bigger holes. Unfortunately, with this box, I've only managed to use one of these PCBs here because everything else just doesn't seem to fit. So one of the most crucial things is where the fan goes. The fan needs to go well away from pretty much everything else, really, especially the MCU, because it can interfere. You get signal degradation from the fan. There's another fan here that's far enough away. So this is pretty good. These iCode glands are really useful. You can just take them apart and swap them around. So particularly useful for things like USB cables and the camera cables, because the cameras have got FACRA connectors on the ends of them which can't be removed, or shouldn't be removed. So the camera cables have got to go in there and can't go onto a external connector like these XLR connectors for USB, which are quite handy, but you know, they could shake loose. Probably better if all the cables went through something like this. It's not always possible though, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, this is the XLR fitting for the display port for the Jetson, so that's got to go somewhere. Yeah, so much of it's given by the fans. We've got a fan opposite corners. This is works quite well, although the fuse box might obscure some of the holes there. So what I've done is used that PCB, then I've marked out 12 holes here for the 12mm gland. It looks pretty tight in there, but actually it works really well. I've done this in the past, and in this configuration a lot of the cables need to go that way to go to hydraulic solenoid valves. So a lot of it's about how the robot itself is configured. I'll just swing it round. So on this end I'm pretty tight. I can't really have things protruding, but I can have temporary connections like the display ports. Cables can go in there for monitoring the Jetson, or if there was a Raspberry Pi there, same deal. Nice little voltmeter. It's really handy. Just tells me that the alternator is working properly and the battery's charged. A couple of momentary switches, really useful for controlling small board computers. And on this side, I think we've looked at that, but we've not looked at this end. So this end is completely blank. That's just because on this particular robot there's no spare room. It's very tight, so this is just going to jam straight up onto the other box 1. So this is box 2, and I think it's just about ready to start drilling holes in the enclosure. So obviously we want to take all this out like that, and then get the hole saws fired up and drill some holes.